name is Gaynor and this is another Ask Gaynor session for toyboy and today's question is from a young man called Kieth who lives in Dorset, and what he tells me is that he's got his first date with an older woman planned in a fortnight's time, obviously planning well ahead there. I have no idea, he says, what to do, where to go or how to act. Every date I have been on is with someone my own age. Does dating differ when it comes to cougars? It's quite an interesting question actually, Keith, because I think really first dates generally, when you're meeting someone for the first time, especially if it's an internet date, so therefore you haven't seen them in person yet, can be quite daunting. So it's best if you keep things, I always think, on a first date as simple as you can. Don't complicate it with fancy restaurants. I would suggest maybe a nice pub, bar, wine bar, somewhere that you're comfortable in. Do a bit of reconnaissance if necessary, check out a few places. If it's easier, sometimes it is to meet your date, maybe wherever they come in, if they come in on a train, maybe at the station, so that you've got a chance to meet and greet outside of a pub. Sitting in a pub, on your own can be a bit worrying. I would suggest that you treat her really as you would expect to treat any lady, girl, female on a first date. I would greet her with a kiss on the cheek. I would take her into the pub of your choice or the bar, whichever way round, wherever you've decided, and go to the bar, order drinks, and just make some polite conversation. I wouldn't restaurants are great, dinner's fine, but I think, trying to order food and eat and everything, if you're a little bit anxious, I'm sure the older woman actually may be more calm about this than you, because obviously she's probably had a number of more dates than you have, just because she's older. So hopefully that would be quite reassuring if she's quite confident in what's going on. And I always advise people, and I can't stress this enough, before you get to the first date stage, do speak to your prospective date on the phone. It's all very well texting, emailing, but a conversation on the phone, you get an ear for someone, you get to know them a little bit better, and whether or not in fact your first date's going to flow. There's going to be some conversation. At the end of the date, I would obviously take her back to the station if that's where she's going, or if she's in a car, and it's polite, I think, to maybe say whether or not you've enjoyed the evening, and maybe to maybe try a kiss. A bit of a snog usually goes down well on a first date. It's usually a good idea to try and see whether or not there is going to be any chemistry, unless you're already feeling it. You might have already done the first kiss actually in the bar, but usually you know from instinct whether or not this is going to be an acceptable thing to do. But I think really we just like to, older women like to be treated as nicely as possible, not necessarily paying, we don't expect a guy to pay for everything. We may well buy a drink ourselves, and accept that politely, because older women can be quite, in charge of their own lives and not used to being looked after. But that said, I think a bit of gentlemanly behaviour goes a long way to endearing you to your date for a future one, I think. So I hope that helps. I mean, I don't know if there's any other questions you might have. You never know, you may find that the first date quickly turns into the second, and you might be whisking her back to your place before you know where you are. But obviously that's entirely up to the people involved. I would not worry too much about it. Older women are much more confident, so if that is on the cards, I can guarantee you that she will make that perfectly clear to you, and you can decide whether or not that's something you want to do. But anyway, I hope that's answered your question. Good luck with your dating, and speak to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye.